In today's video, we are going to be discussing the October tradition of a dumbsupper. I was recently lucky enough to get to throw one of these for a group of my friends while on a writing retreat, and I documented the entire process so that I could share it with you today and hopefully give you some ideas if you wanted to throw a dumbsupper of your own. I'll be going over some of the traditions, the food I cooked, the way that I prepped, and some of the activities that we did during the dinner itself. If any of that sounds interesting to you, come along for the ride. Now, you may be asking yourself, what the heck is a dumbsupper? When I was writing this Pocus for October, I asked my sister if there were any traditions that she wanted me to include in the book. Since this Pocus for October was originally meant to be a gift for her, I wanted it to be tailored to her interests. She asked me to have a scene where the characters held a dumbsupper. Now, this is not something I'd ever heard before. It led me on kind of an internet research rabbit hole. In my research, I came across a ton of different traditions, but there was some consistency among all of them, and so the ones I took away were that a dumbsupper typically is held at midnight. It's served backwards, so you eat dessert first. No one talks, hence the name dumbsupper. And if you'd like, you can invite the spirits of the dead to join you at the table. Ever since writing about it in this Pocus for October, I've always wanted to try hosting my own, and so I was really excited for this writer's retreat where I got to experience the tradition for the first time with a whole bunch of my friends. I reached out to all the guests beforehand and told them that if they wanted to, they could come dressed for a fashionista's funeral in all black or other muted colors. Also told them that they would each be receiving an invitation, and not an invitation for themselves, but an invitation for them to invite someone special in their life who has passed away. I did have the stipulation that please invite only someone who is kind in life because I didn't want any grumpy ghoulies at our dinner table. I got some really nice thick black craft paper at a local stationery store, and I used acrylographs from Archer and Olive, lended to me by Jessica Williamson, to write out the invitation itself. They read, "Dearly departed, come join us for this midnight dumbsupper." And there was a line underneath where each guest could write the name of the person that they were asking to come. And as it so happened, we all ended up inviting our grandmothers, so it was a very feminine evening. On the other side of the invitation, I hand wrote out the menu for the evening just so people could know what we would be consuming that night, because let me tell you, it was an eclectic mix, but we'll get to that. Again, the menu was written out in white ink with some flourishes of gold moons and stars. I really liked the look of this. I think, just in keeping with that kind of funeral, somber, spooky, witchy theme, the black and the white and the gold were a really good color combo. Now it's time to go over the menu. If you're throwing a dumbsupper of your own with the intention of honoring people in your life who have passed away, you can design the menu around their favorite foods, so that way it's a way of honoring them. However, since I didn't personally know a lot of the girls' grandmothers, I decided to make a menu that was very much October themed in a very eclectic way. I have a select amount of Halloween movies that I love to watch every single year, and it feels like each and every single one of them has food in it that makes my mouth water. Just the idea of it, just one single throwaway line piques my interest. I'm always like, ooh, I want to try that. So I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to attempt to cook all of these dishes and try them for the first time among friends. I do have all the recipes I used linked below. I've only made them the one time, and some of them were hits and some of them, well. The first course of this supper was dessert, holding to a tradition of eating the meal backwards. And now I served two desserts because the one dessert I really wanted to try is a birthday breakfast cereal from the movie Twitches.
Happy birthday. We're serving you breakfast on couch to celebrate.
I made it. Strawberry yogurt cereal and candy corn.
It's really, really simple to make this, which is one of the pros of the dish. All it is cereal, strawberry yogurt, and candy corn. In the movie, our main character takes a bite and says very nicely to the little girl who made it,
This is really good.
"She's a liar." To give people another option in case the birthday breakfast cereal was not to their liking, I also had Katie Ann Wrights make her amazing apple crisp. It is a recipe that she has made for me many times before. I love it. It's a crowd pleaser. But to still give it that cinematic Halloween movie theme, we called this the cinnamon apple pie crisp from Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
pot roast, New England clam chowder, maple baked ham and beans, roast turkey with chestnut stuffing, and apple cinnamon pie.
For course 2, our main dish of the evening, I decided to really reach into the vault of recipes that I have wanted to try. And this one comes all the way back from the Mary-Kate and Ashley mid-90s movie, Double Double Toil and Trouble.
Sit down, stupid. I don't suppose you'd care for some rat skull curry?
That's right, I served Great Aunt Agatha's rat skull curry, the vegetarian version, at this dumb supper. Now, the local Walmart didn't have any rat skull or rat meat, so I went ahead and made it with carrots and cashews just to give it that quintessential crunch that it typically has. To make this curry, I had all sorts of ingredients, chopped up vegetables, ginger, garlic. You make it with coconut oil, coconut milk. I also used coconut aminos instead of soy sauce because someone was gluten-free. There was also a little bit of a hiccup as I struggled to find actual curry paste, and so I ended up using this packet of curry mix, which honestly in of itself probably was a fully cooked curry, and I was a little worried that putting that into all of the coconut milk and all the extra stuff was gonna really dilute the flavor, but this ended up being a massive hit. It was so flavorful and just filling and delicious. We had gone out to eat at a Japanese restaurant the night before, so a lot of us had leftover rice, and we just spooned the curry over the rice, and oh my gosh, I was thrilled. And then after it fully cooked, I let it simmer on the stove for a really long time just to get the house to smell amazing and to let those flavors really combine. Course number 3, our appetizer course, was also made up of 2 dishes. I wanted to serve something hot and something cold. For our cold appetizer, I made Moonscar Creole potato salad from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Can you tell? I love the Scooby-Doo movies.
Zoinks! Like, don't use my sandwich to wash it down. Eat some of that Creole potato salad.
Rats.
I had actually never made any form of potato salad before. I'd never even boiled a potato before this day, to be completely honest. In boiling the potatoes, I added this liquid shrimp boil, which was just a liquid form of spices, and it made anyone who walked into the kitchen start coughing. We had to open up all of the windows, all of the doors to kind of air out the house. Oh, it was kind of a disaster. But once the potatoes were boiled and given some dry seasoning and a little apple cider vinegar, I chopped up a couple hard-boiled eggs and some celery, and I mixed together the dressing for the salad, which was, I believe, sour cream, mayonnaise, mustard, some Creole seasoning, sugar, and salt and pepper. I then poured the dressing over the seasoned potatoes, mixed everything together, and then put the potato salad in the fridge so again the flavors would have time to combine and for it to chill. The hot appetizer was directly inspired by the ultimate Halloween movie of all time, Hocus Pocus. I actually pulled this recipe from the official Hocus Pocus cookbook, which I bought and showed off just a couple videos ago. The hot appetizer was a full tray of dead man's toes.
And a dead man's toe. Dead man's toe and make it a fresh one.
Dead man's toe. Dead man's toe and a dead man's toe.
Fresh one.
This was the only thing on the menu not gluten-free because it is Italian sausage meat mixed up together with breadcrumbs, folded into a little log, wrapped up in a puff pastry pocket shaped into a toe. You even score a couple of marks with a knife to make it look like a knuckle and place a couple of pieces of rosemary on the knuckle to look like little hairs. Also a cashew on the very end to be a toenail. When these were all assembled, I couldn't believe it. They actually looked like little toes. It was crazy. The fourth course, which was, of course, a midnight margarita. The dinner was at midnight. I had to do midnight margaritas from, of course, the iconic Practical Magic.
Flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble.
Midnight margaritas!
Now for full disclosure, these were midnight pomegranate foggaritas. So they were mocktails, but people did have the option of adding a little something something if they wanted to. Now, the setup. I spent all day cooking the dishes, and then at about 11:30 p.m. I set the table. I placed the menus and the invitations right on the center of the main plates. And even though this dinner is meant to have no talking, I wanted there to be something kind of just to add to the atmosphere. So I put on a YouTube video that was Halloween oldies playing in another room while you're trying to fall asleep as there's a storm outside, something like that. It was really moody and nice just to have something going on, especially during the first course when we really didn't talk. Everybody attending took this so seriously, which I really appreciated. They all dressed up, they did their nails, they put on makeup, they looked beautiful. The amazing ladies who joined me for this dumb supper were Katie Ann from Katie Ann Writes, Kate Kavanaugh, Jessica from the Hex Library, Devesha from Grape Fry, me, and Becca C. Smith. Becca designed and made this incredible shirt all herself, and I thought it definitely deserved a moment of appreciation. Once they all entered, I asked them to sit at the table in order of chronological age because I was going to serve people from oldest to youngest. There was also a place setting at this table for our more ghostly guests of honor. Once everybody was seated, I generally went over and explained the rules of the dumb supper and also invited everybody to write down the name of the loved one they would like to invite to the dinner. I also provided wishing paper and pencils so that everybody could write a message to their loved one. Thought of remembrance, a love note. I just told my grandmother how much I loved her and missed her and how grateful I was to have had her in my life. Then I went ahead and in reverse order served dessert, the main course of the curry, the appetizers, and of course the drinks. We did stay silent throughout dessert just so that people could write their messages and kind of take in the more somber atmosphere that a dumb supper really is meant to be. But once we all started eating the curry, we decided we were just gonna chat and enjoy and tell stories about the people we had invited and make it more celebratory and fun than kind of somber and sad. Once everybody was finished, we partially cleared the table and decided it was time to say goodbye to our ghostly guests. The way we did this is we took the messages we had written on the wishing paper and lit them on fire as a way of sending the messages to the heavens. I had never used paper like this before, so I was very eager to see how it would work.
Oh my gosh, that was so magical!
That was!
Oh my God!
Who wants to go next? It was a huge success. I think we were all really shocked and tickled by how magical these moments felt, even though some were maybe a little more anticlimactic than others.
What? Why is there smoke coming out? I am sorry, Grandma. I did not mean to insinuate that you were in 80s. That's... My apologies. Really did not like you.
Once all of our messages were burned, we actually ended up doing another round of wishing paper where we ended up writing wishes for ourselves and lighting those on fire and sending those up to the heavens as well. And then after that, we just sat around the table and chatted until very late in the night. Remember, this dinner started at 11:45. It was about 1:30 by the time we started clearing the table. This was definitely such a unique experience. It was so much fun to cook for all of these amazing friends. I'm so grateful to them for having joined me in this first time experience, and holding a dinner like this is definitely going on my top traditions for the month of October. If this sounds like something you would be interested in doing, leave a comment down below about any of your ideas or if you have any questions. But again, I'm a firm believer in that traditions are what you make them. Do it in the way that feels right to you. If you do end up throwing a dinner like this, I hope it goes so well and is filled with just as much joy as this one was. Thank you so much for watching another VEDIO video. Remember, if you like writing, Halloween, or anything in between, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another video. Until then, don't forget to go be happy, go be healthy, and go write. Bye!